anyone else here grow up loving the Harvest Moon series? Did you spend hours developing the farm of your dreams and finding love in Stardew Valley? What about catching every bug and fish there was in Animal Crossing? If you've been looking for the next game to hook you in like all three that I mentioned above did for me, you seriously don't need to look any further. Hi everyone, I'm Amor, and these are my first impressions of Coral Island. Coral Island is a farming sim game that I've been following with extreme interest since its Kickstarter campaign launched back in 2021. Developed by Stairway Games, Coral Island is genuinely everything I've been wanting in a farming sim game and more for years now. You're introduced as a villager returning back to Starlet Town after many years of living in the big city of Tokyo. You come to realize a lot has changed about your childhood home, and most obviously, the corals surrounding the island look very sick now. You learn that a year prior to your return, a big oil spill occurred that devastated the reefs surrounding the island. Not only that, but many of the island's heritage sites also seem to be suffering from some sort of illness as well. As a result, Starlet Town's tourism has plummeted, causing the once thriving A-rank town to now be an F. Being that you've just arrived back into town, there is some hope that maybe you can be the positive change this town and its residents have been needing. Filled to the brim with different activities you can focus on outside of just farming, much of the day-to-day gameplay here in Coral Island will consist of building up your farm, interacting with the locals, and experiencing the more mystical aspects of this town. You can choose to focus your time on exploring the caves for resources and fighting monsters, diving deep into the reefs to reignite a mysterious technology to save the corals, or helping to build back up the local museum to its former glory by donating fish, bugs, and artifacts. A big allure for me is Coral Island's large cast of diverse characters, many of whom are romanceable. I know I'm definitely not alone when I say the two main reasons I love the farming sim genre are 1, for the relaxing gameplay, but also 2, for finding love. There is a villager tab that makes it incredibly helpful for keeping track of your relationships, birthdays, what likes and dislikes a villager has, and most wonderfully, a map with location tracking. That way you can stalk your love interest to your heart's content. I played through the whole first season and I can say with full confidence I'm thoroughly addicted. The gameplay feels top-notch, super straightforward, and best of all, there's some really great quality of life mechanics. Crafting? Yeah, you can do that from wherever. Your crafting menu is synced up with your storage boxes, and if you're ever in a pickle and need something quick to munch on for stamina, you're in luck. Crafting from the menu screen immediately brings it to your player's backpack. For fishing, you don't have to wait long at all for fish to bite, and better yet, time doesn't even pass in-game while you've got your line casted. Stamina consumption feels fairly balanced, and there's opportunities to unlock fast travel points really early on in the game. I have yet to really get started on anything relating to ranching because I'm so invested in exploring the several narratives happening all at once on this island. Mermaid kingdoms, kingdoms with giants, yet another goddess needing your help. There's so much to do, and I can't get enough of it. The game only just came out of early access on November 14th, so there is still some polishing needed, however, it's very minimal. When I first started playing the game on PC in the middle of November, it ran fantastically. However, and I believe it's due to a recent update in December, I am running into some very small frame drops. It genuinely doesn't interfere with my enjoyment of the game personally, but I felt it important to mention this only recently started to happen, so hopefully it's fixed in the next update. There's several customization options for your character, chill music that comes and goes throughout the day, and great optimization for both controller and mouse and keyboard players. The only downside I found using a controller with this game is that it is less precise when trying to water crops, which can result in wasted stamina. Some small complaints I have at Coral Island mostly have to do when trying to interact with the villagers. There are days where you'll try and talk to a character and you'll see a prompt saying this character has nothing more to say, even though you haven't spoken to that character yet at all that day. This can be really disappointing when it's also been multiple days of the game telling you this. It's at least not super consistent, and eventually I was able to interact with those characters again, but it does happen often enough that I felt it important to share. It's no character in particular either, but it was especially disheartening when you're trying to pursue a character romantically and are hoping for some new dialogue to acknowledge a closer relationship. I'm unsure if this feature is intended by the devs, but I do hope it's something they consider changing, as while repeated dialogue can certainly be tiring, having no dialogue at all really just takes a lot of the fun out of interacting with the townsfolk. Coral Island is available for $29.99 USD on Steam, PlayStation, and Xbox, and for you Nintendo Switch peeps, it is slated for a 2024 release on there too. Overall, I'm highly impressed and super invested into this game, and even as of recording this video, I've already played through yet another season. If you're a fan of cozy games but with lots of activities to keep you preoccupied, or even if you prefer to ignore the bigger story elements to focus on building up your farm, this game gives you those options. You don't have to focus on the story, and just as equally, you don't have to just focus on your farm. As the developers put it, it's your future, and the future of Coral Island is what you make of it. Thank you all so much for watching. Do let me know in the comments below if you're planning on picking up Coral Island, and if you have already, do share with me your thoughts on it and any recommendations you might have for more games like it. I'll see you all on the next one. Bye!